Saving seeds is one of the things that I am doing almost on a weekly basis now. I am waiting until the blooms have completely turned dark, turned brown, and I am saving seeds of the plants that I want to try for next year. Some of the plants that I have growing here have been a repeat for quite a few years now, and I already have seeds indoors, but if I have the opportunity to save more seeds these years from the same plants that I have been collecting seeds from the years before, then I'm definitely going to be doing that. This right here is a type of Shasta daisy. I don't remember the variety that I have growing here, but these guys, this blend specifically, it's a division from another plant that I have on this other side behind me. And I want to try next year. I want to try to grow more from seed because it's really one perennial that it's really great in my garden. It doesn't require that much maintenance, and it just blooms. As long as I keep that head in the dead blooms, it just keeps on blooming most of the season. And as you can see, right now we are in the middle of October, and this plant looks amazing. It looks like nothing has happened to it. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try to save seeds. Now, I have not saved seeds from daisies before, so I'm not quite familiar on how they look, but from looking at the blooms, I'll show you. From looking at the blooms, I realized that I have plenty to choose from. Now, sometimes whenever I am saving seeds for the first time from one of my plants and I am not really sure about how viable, how good those seeds will be for next year, the trick that I do, and it works for me every time, I take some of those seeds, some of the seeds that I will be saving indoors, and then I do a quick germination test. Meaning I get the seeds in a wet paper towel, I put them inside a Ziploc bag or somewhere where it's just going to keep that humidity, high humidity in, and hopefully within a few days I'll see signs of germination. Now, I know that some seeds may be better than others as far as germinating. So if I get at least a good 30-40% germination rate on those seeds, then I'm happy. So, like I said, right now it's just about saving seeds, about making sure that I have everything, enough of everything that I want to save for next year. But there are a few things that I definitely want to save, like my nasturtiums, which I'll show you here in a minute, and some celosia that I think that I want to grow next year, mainly because of how it's drying. This is the first time that I am growing celosia in this garden, and while I think that is an okay plant, I am not the biggest fan of celosia as far as cut flowers go. I definitely think that I am going to try this variety for next year. I really like how it dries. I have a bunch of it drying inside, and one of the things that I noticed is that celosia really keeps its true color as it's drying. And I am loving that. I really think that as far as a flower for both cosmetics and for drying, I think that it's definitely one that I need to try again. So I am going to collect as many seeds as I can, and as you can see, it is super easy to do this. I don't even have to cut any of the dead blooms. All I have to do is shake some of the blooms a little bit, and I have plenty of seeds. Isn't that amazing? I have at least a few hundred seeds here that I can use to start many celosia plants for the next future years. These are my Kilimanjaro marigolds, and I have been waiting for most of the blooms here to go to seed, to get nice and brown, so that I could save a bunch of these seeds. And I already have plenty of these seeds indoors to last me for the next few years, but I am going to be giving some seeds away to some of you. So I want to make sure that I have plenty of seeds to share. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. My nasturtiums are still looking amazing, you guys. I said it before, but this is definitely the year of the nasturtiums, and I am here for it. I have been wanting to remove a lot of these plants here, but one, the pollinators are loving all of these blooms. They are going crazy. And two, I definitely want to save seeds from these plants because they really did perform very, very well in my garden this year. And I just want to make sure to save a few of the seeds. But on that note of plants that perform really, really well, let me show you one more time, probably the last time, my Vachiva rose. This is a David Aston rose that I planted here in the spring. You saw me how I did that in this small container. It's actually a small open bottom raised bed, a corten steel raised bed. There is about 16 inches from the ground. So the rose doesn't really have much height, but it's about 16 inches from the ground. And this year, look at all the growth that it did. I am really, really amazed at how well this rose did this year. And that's why I chose them to be on my other raised bed. I got 4 more plants over there. But one of the things that I am noticing is that I have a bunch of buds and even a small bloom at the very top of the trellis. And this trellis is by gardeners. I sometimes get questions about the trellis. This trellis, it comes off of the wall. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm very excited about this rose for next year. I ran out of brown paper bags, so I'm using these little paper plates. Oh, look at that. I'm already spotting a bunch of these seeds here on the ground. There are lots and lots of seeds on the ground here. These right here are the seeds that are going to be getting mature for collecting. And normally you get little bundles, and as you can tell, there are different sizes here. And this plant is loaded with seeds. So these are the ones that I am going to be collecting. Like I said, some of these may not make it, but if I get at least half of them to take, then I'll be okay with that. And I also do have a bunch of them indoors. So if some of these fail to take, then I definitely have more indoors. And normally you wouldn't want to pick them when they are very, very green. You definitely want to wait until they start changing a little bit of the color. Trying to look for one that is nice and ready. Oh wow, look at all these peppers. Look at all these jalapenos that I have here. Can you see all these peppers? As you can tell, gotta do some harvest. Look at this. Nasturtiums, dahlias, and jalapenos. Nice. So apparently I have to do a bunch of harvest here. Here's a good example of some of the seeds when they're not quite ready, and some that are ready, or one that is ready. This right here, this one is very green. This one is still very green. I wouldn't be comfortable saving this. These are just way too green for me. But this guy right here, this one is nice and almost is turning a nice color of brown. Hopefully you can tell the difference on the video. So I normally like to wait until they're this shade and they start getting a little bit wrinkly. But I'm still saving a bunch more anyway. Some of you have asked me to share some of my seeds with you, and to be real with you guys, I just cannot do that every time somebody asks me. I have a lot of you that ask me sometimes, and I just cannot be here packing seeds for sending to my followers. But I did this last year and I had great results, and I am going to do it this year as well. I am going to select about 5 people from my newsletter. At the beginning of the year, I decided to open a newsletter that it has become a nice little way for me to update you, to let you know what's going on. And I was really good about keeping it on a weekly basis. However, Summer came and it became a once a month, maybe even every other month. But I'm ready to pick it back up for the fall and winter. And if you have not subscribed to the newsletter, I will have the link below. And like I said, I will probably choose about 3, maybe 5 people, depending how many seeds I can get. I want to send nice packages of different types of seeds, vegetables and flowers. So if you want to participate, let me know by signing up to the newsletter. And if you already get my newsletter, then you don't have to do anything else. Extra flowers are definitely going to be one of the seeds that I am going to be adding to those packages that I sent to those people from my newsletter. Wow, I have at least 200 seeds here of straw flowers. These are beautiful, beautiful plants. Thank you for being here, you guys, and we'll see you the next time.